This is the She Elevates live experience. I'm super excited to be doing this week. We are live 5 days, Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Liz, and I have two fabulous guests with me today. I've got Jenn and Beth, and we're just going to jump in and introduce ourselves, and then we're going to get in some juicy financial questions that are going to make women's lives feel so much better and elevated. So, Jenn, why don't you start by introducing yourself, please?
Hi, thank you so much for having me here today, Liz. My name is Jenn Verser. I am a money mentor and life coach. I work with women who are driven and successful on the outside, but inside feel anxious and overrun by their money. I have found that when women understand their money and they have a great relationship with money, they can change every perspective in their life and improve every relationship they have, not just their one with money, but their families, their partners, their work, beyond.
Beautifully said. Like, I feel like that is the elevator pitch. You could all give us a class on how to do the formal introduction, because I'm like, which person am I today? Who am I showing up as? And you nailed it. And it, like, you've already like started to give a little insight to our first question. But before that, let's meet Beth. And I'm actually meeting Beth for the first time. So I'm honored for you to jump in on this live today, Beth. Who is Beth?
So hi everybody. I am Beth Fantozzi. I'm actually a Smartsheet consultant. It's going to be interesting to see how I fit into this topic today, but I'm up for the challenge for sure. I'm a full-time Smartsheet consultant. Do you even know what Smartsheet is?
Yeah, why don't you put me at a third grade level?
Perfect. So
I'm not sure.
So Smartsheet is similar to Excel on steroids. You probably have an idea of like, what is Excel? It's a grid system. You can track a bunch of things in there. Smartsheet is that, but on steroids, because you can use it to track financial information, processes, procedures. You can track dates in there and drive a lot of business functions. So as a Smartsheet consultant, I partner with clients and we create a full-blown operational platform, so they can kind of come to me with kind of like, well, we have this thing that we're selling, be it a product, a service, and I work with teams and create process mapping and then pull that into a digital environment so that teams can work more collaboratively, see status updates in real time. And so I'm doing that. I'm so passionate about it. And I've seen it just change businesses really since I started using it. It brings a lot of clarity and flexibility and freedom. And so I'm so passionate about it. I want to help other people be able to do what I'm doing. So I am trying to teach people how to do that so they feel empowered to have the skills to be able to do that, whether it's in their own business or in a job that they're currently using and they feel like things are scattered and things feel maybe a little bit out of control. And how can we partner together to bring them? Yes.
I'm raising my everything is out of control. Can you get my personal life into that spreadsheet?
For sure.
Wow, so cool. I am very curious about that now. I want to know all things about it. So hopefully we're able to untangle that a little bit today. And it sounds like I need a demo afterwards. So love that. All right. So we're going to get to the first question. I'm like, wait, should I introduce myself? I think mostly everybody knows me. This is my YouTube channel and I'm streaming live to Facebook. Hey, friends. I am a lot of things. Right now, I'm a woman's coach and I help women create hell yes offers so that they can impact the world and create the ripple effect so that not only you as a coach are you happy, fulfilled, and doing the thing that you love, but you are able to spread that to other people by making impact with them. I'm also a decision strategist. I'm writing a book, Girl, Just Make the Damn Decision, because I have struggled personally in my 42 years of life with making decisions. And I realize you just have to make the decision and then pivot along the way. Everybody's scared to just decide, but once you decide, that's when you get feedback and you can actually make a pivot. So I'm having a lot of fun with that book. It's really making me like unpeel myself and be like, oh my gosh, okay, let's fix this. All right, let's get into the first question. And we're wondering, why do so many high achieving women look successful on the outside, but feel stressful? They feel out of control on the inside. Can I get an amen if anybody's ever felt that way? Why is it? Why is this happening? Who would like to take the floor?
I'll go ahead and go. I have worked with women who feel this way. And most of it, what I find, is avoidance, not
Mm.
looking at their numbers. They have this fear that they are living paycheck to paycheck, that they can't do what they want to do, that things aren't going to work out. And a lot of that is a learned behavior. Maybe they were never taught how to look at money. Maybe they didn't hear conversations that happened at home when they were kids. Maybe they weren't in a home where money was discussed. And these things build stories, and story after story builds and builds. And then these women think, I need to have all of these things in my life, but I don't know how to have them, or I can't have them, or I shouldn't have them. And anytime that you say shouldn't to yourself or should, it's actually someone else inside your head. It's actually a story that you have been playing inside of your head. So women are not being taught from their young years how to handle money, what money means. They just say, it's just been told, go out, get a good job, or go out and find a husband, go out and find a partner, go out and have somebody else take care of it for you, instead of being taught, this is how you handle money.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, lots coming up for me. There's definitely that child that I've been more aware. I'll say for me, like I've been trying to change the trajectory of how I look at wealth, how I look at finances, in the words, like you said, Jen, like what you are speaking is so powerful. Like how you speak about money. I've even had conversations about this with my kids because I'm like, okay, we heard all these things as kids, like we can't afford that. Oh, that's way too much. Maybe when you move out the house, you can buy that on your own. Okay, mom's not able to afford that, and of course, like that flows naturally to me because that's what I heard as a kid. And now changing how I want my kids to leave the household and look at money. I had an open conversation and I was like, listen, anytime mom says this kind of thing, like we can't afford it, we can't do this because we don't have the money right now, but we will. Like it started to be like we can't do it now, but yet we can't do it yet, right? And then my daughter had this idea, my 11-year-old, I'll give her full credit. She said, Mom, well, why don't you just do it like this? Instead of saying we don't have the money to do it, just say we don't have the time. Like, okay, we can't go to Disney, not because we don't have the money. We don't have the time to go. And that will help us like not put it all on money's fault. And I was like, okay, so anytime you ask for like beauty products, makeup, I want new wardrobe for school, mom has the money. We just don't have the time to go school shopping. I was like, how will that land for you as an adult?
Yeah. Yeah. Beth, what are your thoughts on that? Because I know you do a lot of like management. Obviously, I know like Smartsheet sounds like it's business oriented, but how do people choose to put their money in different buckets?
Oh, that's such a good. I mean, so for me, I feel like we're really kind of crossing over into like the personal aspect, and my vantage point and my view day after day, it truly is business and how businesses are in the business of making money, which it's funny. I mean, businesses don't tend to have a problem making money. The business
Yeah.
itself, that's their goal. They want to make money. But I do think that a lot of people, there's any number of reactions really as to why people don't really feel comfortable stepping into um, whether it's what they charge for their services and how they value their time, and um, it does tend to kind of come down to how we feel about ourselves and how we value ourselves, and stories that we've been told or that we've told ourselves, Jen, like you had talked about.
Mhm.
I do tend to see that a lot, where it does have to be something that you do tend to have to wrestle with. You have to cross over that threshold of feeling like, am I comfortable making a certain amount of money, or feeling like my services are worth a certain amount of money? I do think that everybody has to go through that in a certain sense. Maybe we'd all be better served by removing that personal element and just saying, I'm a business. I'm a business. And businesses don't have any problem making money. That's what they're in the business to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'd love you to try this one on, Liz. Instead of, I don't have time for it, I don't value that right now.
Ooh.
So I don't value going to Disney right now. I'd rather spend our time and money going to the beach.
Ooh, I love that.
That's something that I've been trying to shift in my own family. So my parents live just 3/4 of a mile away from us. I
Okay.
never live that close to them, but they're very involved in my son's care. He's almost 5. And he has gotten the idea that we talk about money a lot in our house.
Mhm.
As a money mentor, we talk about money a lot. And he has already started to want to earn money and
Ooh.
understand money. And
Yeah.
how do I get, what kind of jobs? How much do I get? And he came home to me one day, Mama, I helped Gamma move something and she paid me $2. She was like, he worked for like an hour and a half. He's 4. He's almost 5. And she was like, I did give him $2. He earned it.
Yeah.
What do we value? And we went to Target the first time he went and bought something with his own money. And okay, I said, you have this much money. Now we're still understanding numbers and everything, of course. But I asked him, do you want to get this smaller Lego now? Or do you want to save your money and get this bigger Lego later?
Wow.
And so he was given options of, what do I want to do with my money now? And what do I maybe want to do with my money later? So we talk about the value of money. And yes, we still sometimes say that's too expensive.
Sure.
But I really do find myself changing that narrative of, it's too expensive. I can't believe that they would spend their money on that. That's what they value. And it makes me feel a lot less comparing, like a lot less comparison.
Yes.
I notice someone driving a car that I like, or somebody going on a vacation. I say, that's what they value now. I could spend my money to do that, but I would rather be able to spend my money on X, Y, or Z later.
That's a very good point. And it's all about perspective and where you are in the chapter that you're in. Like me, I'm like business, business, business. Let's schedule like 2 vacations per the year, get those in, but we're not just going to be like, oh, this week is open, so let's throw in this mindless expensive trip. We're like, let's schedule it out, plan it. And like you said, how big of a purchase, or even not as like sometimes I know kids see like, oh, the bigger thing costs more, but it could be like something just is more valuable, or it's just a higher cost because of branding or something that we don't understand, or maybe the children don't even understand, but just how the world values things differently, which is, it's always changing. And even my perspective on what was valuable 10 years ago. I wanted the Louis Vuitton bag. I wanted the red bottom shoes. And now I'm just like, no, I want my kids to be fulfilled, happy. I want our household to be peaceful. We love pets and they get expensive. Like those are the things that we value now. So that's such a good point, Jen.
Yeah. I really thought I wanted a Louis Vuitton bag. And I went on a retreat to Bali. That was going on this retreat. It was a business retreat. I traveled. I went business class. I flew all the way around the world. It felt like, I guess I flew over the top of the world to get to Bali. And I shopped all over Bali for the knockoff handbag that I wanted. And I wound up spending $26 on it. And a few weeks later, I'm walking through the Short Hills Mall, which is a very swanky mall in New Jersey. Mall, and we walked past the Louis Vuitton store. And there were probably 20 people in line to go into the Louis Vuitton store. And I thought, not only do I not value that bag, but I don't want to wait in line for 2 hours. I'd rather be with my kid.
Yes. Yeah, it's so true. I think about that at the lines at Six Flags too. I'm like, I'd rather be on the beach, like feeding the seagulls fries in this line.
Yeah. Beth, what do you find in businesses, because you're working in that business realm, what do you find that surprising that businesses spend their money on that you wouldn't expect?
Jen took my question. I was literally leading into that. Thank you, Jen.
I'm so curious.
Oh.
Or like
I don't know how
value?
I
What are
don't know how easy of a response this is. I find it fascinating how long organizations will hold on to employees that are not effective and aren't delivering,
Ooh.
aka spending money on things that really aren't working. And it's maybe it's any number of reasons that they're doing it. Honestly, culture. They maybe people don't want to face the fact of what's going on.
Mm.
I worked in corporate HR for 3.5 years, and it's really hard to fire people.
Mm.
Yeah,
A
for
lot of
sure.
lawsuits, it's a lot
Oh,
of
for sure.
Cities.
unemployment insurance, all of that stuff. It's really hard to fire people. And the
Yeah.
higher up people are, the harder they are
Oh,
to
for
get rid of.
To
It's
get rid of.
and that's crazy to me. If the person's not working out, just let it go. But you have to
Absolutely.
prove it again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure.
But are they even trying, Beth? Are they trying, or are they like personally attached to these people, or
Who knows? I mean, I don't really get to see that aspect of it because I come in as a consultant and a business partner to try to help improve a certain thing. And I don't really necessarily see a lot of the things that are behind it, but I see enough of it that I do see a window into that.
yeah.
And I can see, wow, this is really, I'm curious. I'm just going to sit back and see how long this is going to go on.
Wow.
So it is surprising. So as you're asking me a question, like what's something that surprises me, that really honestly is the first thing that comes to mind.
I was surprised by it also, working in
Yeah.
HR, how hard it
Yeah,
was to say goodbye to anyone.
for sure.
Yeah. And is that for any company, like no matter the scale, or I guess you have to hit like,
I mean, I would think so, but I worked at a large retail store.
mm-hmm.
And so I was working with, hourly employees for the most part. Unless someone was violent and like was putting people in danger some way, it was really hard. A lot of documentation as being a person in HR, I oversaw how many times things had to be documented before we could even write a warning. And then
Wow.
you have like 6 months before you can write a final warning, and then you have another 6 months before you have to let them go. Things expired. People would take leaves. Like, people will do anything to not lose their job.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. And Beth,
Yeah.
what about the businesses that you work with? Are they of a certain caliber, or?
Yeah. What kind of businesses do you mostly work with, Beth?
I work with probably small to medium sized businesses. Yeah. Yeah. And just really over the scope of my career, my time as a consultant, just in general, I have just always found that concept to be super interesting. My background, my degree is in psychology, and so just the whole idea of organizational psychology, how people work together, all of that I've always found super fascinating. And so that emotional impact, implication of why do we keep people in roles when it's just not even really a good fit anymore. And Jen,
Oh,
you've talked a little bit about why. That's part of some of it is just really practicalities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're doing it to cover their own backs, to make sure that they don't get sued for wrongful termination. And
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of it that's very, I think it's very American. I think it's our culture.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So that's a whole other topic.
Totally agree. Couldn't agree more. So many times I'm like, let me leave America, and then it just pulls me back. So many reasons why you can't go, right?
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true.
Let's get into how women can tell if they have an actual money problem. Do they have a system problem? Do they have both? Is the money coming in, but it's disappearing? I know, Jen, you had touched a little bit on like she's just avoiding looking at her numbers. Maybe it makes her nervous. Maybe some kind of fear comes up. So, how can a woman really know if she's got a money problem or does she have a system problem?
I think that it starts with sitting down and looking. To understand what the problem is, you have to be aware that there's a problem at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think too often, like I said earlier, women are just not looking. They believe they can't do it. They've been told they couldn't, they shouldn't, they don't know how. So then they're like, well, I might as well not try.
Mm.
And a lot of what I do with my clients is I'm just someone who sits with them without shame, without judgment. And it's hard to get yourself to the place by yourself to look at your money without shame, without judgment, without saying, "Oh, why did I buy that? Why did I do that?" I've had clients come to me and say, "Oh, I did this thing I shouldn't have done." Why should you have not gone to lunch with your daughter? Why
Mm.
should you not have uh, moved into an apartment? You're in your late 30s, you want to live by yourself? You do that. Does it make your life feel better? Do you have the money to do it? And to be able for them to look at their money and say, "Oh, I can." "Oh, you're meaning to tell me that those debts will be paid off in 5 years or less?" "Oh, oh, I can do this?"
Mm.
They haven't been taught how to do it. And I am so grateful because my parents talked about money with me all the time. They included me in meetings with their financial planner. I remember being 10 or 11 years old, sitting in the financial advisor's office with a Benjamin Franklin biography. I mean, this is how like, clearly I remember this. And the financial advisor telling them, "Go back, pay off your mortgage, save up X number of dollars, and come see me." That was my childhood. And
Yeah.
I know that most women weren't included in those conversations.
Yeah,
I
you're absolutely right.
I was allowed to ask
Yeah.
questions. I was encouraged to ask questions. I was encouraged to call home my freshman year, my first week of college, and say, "I just got a credit card because they were having a really cool T-shirt, so I signed up for the credit card, but I'm going to cut it up when it comes. So don't worry." My mom's like, "Okay."
As long as you do what you're going to say you're going to do.
Never use the card. Like the T-shirt, I guess. I don't even remember.
Yeah. Wow. That's so like the t-shirt too. What about you, Beth? Do you feel like women in general, if it's a more of like a money problem, or does she not have the system set up? Is she just scared to look at them? Does she just not know what she's doing?
Yes, I mean, sure to all of that, honestly. I mean, I really feel like this is a great question for Jen. I'm adjacent to that discussion. I'm a woman, so I guess, for me, it makes me an expert on me, but I don't feel
Yeah.
like I have a lot to offer this particular conversation. I think, Jen, you clearly are destined to be where you are right now. I mean, from if this is where you have been, like, having frank discussions with about money your entire life and no shame about it and just having that clear head. One of the things that I kind of responded to as you're talking is in the role that I do, I also have seen kind of that level of shame or uncertainty when I start working with a new client. I don't know why people feel like, oh, I either should know how to do this, or I'm a little bit embarrassed that I don't know how to do it, or maybe I'm a little bit bashful that I've let it come to this place. Clearly I'm talking about like operations and business management and business processes. You're talking about something different, but I do think that that's a real similarity between what we're doing is that we're really coming alongside people and saying, there's no shame. We're going to be partners here. I'm going to walk with you, and I just, I can help you, but I need to understand really kind of what's going on and where we're going, and then I can help you navigate that, and we can find that path together. So don't feel bad if you don't know how to do that right away. Who said you needed to understand how to do that? And I guess it would be the same thing for money management. Where is it defined that you should know how to do this? I mean, we're all in the process of growing and evolving and learning from other people.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's such good insight, Beth. I'm wondering with consulting, do you see a lot of mindset blocks with your clients, or is it more just get to the process and put it in place?
Absolutely. And that was another thing really that surprised me when I started doing what I'm doing is I thought, well, I'm going to show up and we're going to do the work and we're going to move forward. But there's
Right.
actually a lot of mindset that we need to address. They need to learn. I hate saying they. I mean, the people that I'm working with, we
Yeah.
all need to learn, you can trust me. We're going to trust the process. And when people are able to do that and they can trust the process and trust how we're going to evolve, and I'm not here there to take their job. Everything is wonderful. It's all going to be good. We're headed in the same direction. Those are the times when we can create something really incredible. If people are holding back, don't want to share, don't want to change at all, I mean, we just can't even advance. I mean, how similar would that be when you're in something that is akin to life coaching, teaching people life skills?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have to work on that together, or we're just not going to evolve. You're not going to grow. No matter how much you think, oh, I want to change, you have to have that mindset of feeling like I can trust the process and I'm here for it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's interesting because I always wonder, like, this is what we're going to do. This is the process. But wait, what is coming up for you right now? Like, you think I'm going to take over? No, this is not how this works.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful to come together. And I think collaboration is everything with women. Like, we need to trust each other. And I sit back and I reflect. I'm like, man, the world better watch out because there are some women who are just like rising and stepping into like what they're here to do. And it's been sheltered. Let's be honest. Like, it's been pushed away, and you're not even from when we're not supposed to be making income at all. And I'm like, world, I know you want to keep us quiet because it's just about to skyrocket. And I just cannot wait to see like everybody stepping into what they're truly called to do and not feel guilty, not feel shameful, not feel embarrassed. That's I'm thrilled for that, especially for the next generation when they can just even push it further.
Well, think about the fact that our grandmothers didn't know anything about money. Their job was to get married and have children.
Yes.
Like, my grandmother was a nurse, but after she had her kids, she became a school nurse so that she could have the same schedule as her daughters.
It's
So she didn't even know about money until my grandfather got sick. Then all of a sudden she was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to figure out how to do the checkbook." And she did know how to do some things, but this year I have taken over my parents' finances. My dad has always done their finances. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. He just
oh,
couldn't do it anymore.
wow.
My mom spent the first 3 months of 2026 feeling so lost. She was a business owner. She owned her own business for over 30 years, but she didn't know how to pay the bills. She knows how to write a check, obviously, but like, what bills are coming in? What has to go out? Why does this feel so complicated? Why does he have two systems to balance the checkbook and they don't match?
Yeah, right.
So, and she was so anxious about, when's the money coming in? How is it going out? How do we have all these investments, but I feel like there's nothing in our checking account?
Yeah.
She was so frantic. And I said to her one day, I was like, "Mom, I want to take you away for a weekend." She's like, "I can't go away." So instead, my son and I went and spent a weekend with her, and we sat and we looked at everything. We
Wow.
looked at every account. We looked at everything. I showed her how every bill pay was set up. I set up everything online. I did as many things with the credit card so they get points back, whatever.
Nick, yeah.
She's like, "Oh my gosh, this isn't bad." No, it's not. But she was so paranoid about it.
Yeah, worst case scenario, right? Like,
Yeah.
let's just go to freak out mode. Like, I'm guilty of this. Like, what's the worst that can happen? And that is what is going to happen. Like, you can't tell me otherwise. But it's so true. I mean, just think about even, I think they said what sticks with you 7 generations ago, like where our ancestors were then. Like, it's still ingrained in us and how we move, how we think subconsciously. It's not only what we've seen or taught, but it is like still ingrained from generations upon generations. And I mean, that's why you have fight, flight, fear, all of these things, freeze. And we're like, why is this coming up? Well, we were cavemen at times. Like, we're still feel like a tiger is chasing us, and it's our checking account. So
Yeah. The evidence shows that descendants of the Holocaust are showing increased symptoms of things like diabetes because their ancestors were starved. Like, they're showing genetic differences in their DNA because of the things that their predecessors experienced. the starvation, the mass poverty. My grandfather was an orphan during the Depression. You can't tell me that that doesn't impact the
Wow.
way that my mom raised me, the way that I'm raising my son, the way that we look at the world. It has a whole different lens because of when he was 7 years old, his extended family said, "We don't want you." They put him in an orphanage and told him, "You're not 9, you're 7."
Mm,
Liz, you have small children. Can you
yeah.
imagine telling a 9-year-old that he was actually 7?
Oh my gosh. I only tell my kids when they're older so they can get into the hot tub. Like, it's the only time I'm lying about their ages. You got to be 12 and up.
Absolutely. These things stick with us.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. And I understand that. Like, I even tell my kids, like, question me. I don't know if I'm right. This is, we talked about stories in the beginning. Like, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's like, 50% of your stories you've created. Like, someone didn't say hi to you in the hallway. You've created this story that this person doesn't like you, or you did something and all of a sudden they're not talking to you. Like, it's just wild.
Mm-hmm.
So wild. Beth, what kind of holdups do you, when people are ready to implement a new process or put those into place, are there things that come up that they're like, well, I actually want to do it this way, and you have to be like, no, 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 come back, we're doing it this, like, are they full set on your process, or like you said, there has to be some kind of confidence that they know the system is going to work?
That's such a good question. Absolutely, that's a dance. 100% that's a dance.
It's the best way to.
Or we will get something up and running and it will be great, and they're so intoxicated by how great it is, and that they want to come and change everything because then they feel like they're empowered to make all these changes that don't work. Ps that don't really work. So
Yeah.
people like focused on, these are best practices, this is the steps that that's in our best interest to take. So then I'm just going back to creating that trusting platform and helping people. I'm not going to rush in and create anything without having that buy-in, and I really need to take my client's lead as to what is their comfort level and how quickly are we going to move and what kind of things are they willing to explore and try. So it is a lot of trust building. It's a lot of trying to help them see what I see. The other thing too with operations, and this has got to be this way with money too, Jen, is, some for operations, you kind of maybe have a brain for it, or have you're just kind of predisposed to thinking maybe more in systems language or structurally. You don't tend to think quite so globally and like a ball of yarn
Absolutely.
twisted up. So it's also, trying to help people make that bridge that gap as well, so that we can move forward in a really kind of like orderly manner and step through the process. I think in those times, well, now I'm getting off into something that's really specific to what I do, but a lot of times what can bridge the gap there is just something that's really visual. So
Ooh.
I'm starting to work with somebody, starting to get an idea of where we need to go and what some of the stucks are and what some of the things are that aren't working. And if I can put that into something that's visual, so they can start to see how things can progress through a process map or a diagram or a table or something, where we can start getting things that are linear, I think that helps people. It helps me to communicate kind of where we're
Yeah.
at, where we're going. And it helps people also with the trust factor, because then they know that I'm making an effort to speak their language so that we're on the same page.
Yeah, super important. I'm glad you brought that up, because I've realized that with my communication to my clients, like, when you've already achieved the result, or like, you've been in it for so long, it's not the same language that your clients or someone at the beginning of this bridge, they're not talking that way. So visuals are fantastic. I've been using them a lot more. I switch this out and I put my white pad up and I'm like, I'm drawing this one out. Sometimes it takes a minute to like create it in my head. Like, what would this actually look like? But it's also the creative side that I really enjoy tapping into. So it's kind of, it's fun to play with. It's fun to play with, like, words sat like this, but how does a drawing sit? And people are like, when you see people's faces and they're like, Oh, now I get it. It's like, yes. Okay, I'm saving this one.
Yes. That's where my background as an elementary school teacher comes in, because I can teach the same thing like 3 or 4 different ways and just like verbalize it differently or approach it differently. Like I encourage my clients to work with their money creatively
Ooh.
and just being willing to say like, oh, but if I did this, what if I did that? I have a client who was using a meal prep service, and she was talking about how, she just told me, she like, my meal prepper told me she was going to start charging me more, so maybe I won't do breakfast with her anymore, or maybe I'll do this. And all of a sudden she decided, you know what, I actually want to learn how to cook so that I can cook with my family when I have a family. I want to act as the woman who knows how to have a family, so I'm going to start cooking. Like that all came out of, she was like, well, maybe I could do this differently, or maybe I could do that differently. And she's like, actually, no, I'm going to cook all my meals.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, like you go,
Lucky.
girl. But to think creatively, it doesn't have to be A plus B equals C. It can be
Yeah.
A plus D equals G. Like you can mix it up and figure things out and make things work. And women are really good at that when they're given the permission to do it.
Hmm. I almost used that word earlier. I forget what we were talking about, but it's almost, oh, when women are like, they're now in charge of finances, and it's almost like if someone just gave them the permission, like, this is yours now. Women will figure it out. Like, we're problem solvers. We literally birth human beings. Like, we can figure anything out.
If I can get through that, I can get through anything. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. Sometimes you just need somebody to be a sounding board for you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is, I turned to therapy at first, and now it's just like we can collaborate. We can have conversations with women like they would back in the day. Like, I miss the village. I miss the village aspect. Like, I had a village before. I wish we still had the villages, because not just for raising kids, but like the women factor of being a woman in this world and business. Like, what if women were together networking and doing business stuff? Like, how powerful and how life changing that would be to like collaborate. We'd see each other every day. Like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to create this offer, and I'm going to create this product and this system. Like, I'm like, man, we could really get stuff down.
I am choosing to create a world in which when one woman wins, we all win.
Ooh.
I am choosing to live in a world where that is what happens. And that is why I spend so much time getting to know women and talking to them, because not every woman has to buy from me. I
Right.
don't have to have every person have a sales call, but I am opening myself up to say, come, let's get to know
Yeah.
each other. Let's build a relationship.
Yeah.
Let's see where that relationship goes. And maybe it's that you want to work with me, and maybe it's that you just need somebody to say happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so good. It's so good. There is an abundance for everyone. We can all win here.
Mhm.
There's no reason to be, catty and be like, no, wait, we're in the same niche. We have the same services. I need to put a wall up and never speak to you again. But also, like you were saying, Jen, like you don't want the wrong people working with you. Like, you don't want everyone working with you. You want your specific people working for you.
I want people to be excited to have their calls with me because I'm excited to talk to them. I get so excited to talk to my clients. Like when I have a full day, I'm like, let's go. When I get done, I'm like, all right, I gotta go make dinner and let's go. I'm full of energy because it's what I want to be doing.
Yeah.
So let's build a community where this gets to happen. Let's just keep talking to each other and keep growing, because if we get to do things that we love, we're going to feel so much better about it. It's about what you value, right? I value
Value.
building a community.
Getting back to value.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, Jen, I absolutely love that too, because it just speaks to the excitement if we're all using our skills and our gifts, and that's such a different it's a positive growth energy. Just
Yeah.
a few minutes ago we were lingering on, oh my gosh, and people just are in the role and they're not really effective in their role, but they're just there forever, and shifting that to where we're all really doing something that we're really good, that we are just kind of inherently good at, or that we've done for a really long time, how our brains are wired, and how much more we have to throw into the pile for that. I'm trying to think of where the oh my gosh, it's strength. It was the book called Strengths Finder, that talks about how we all have our strengths, right? We all have inherent strengths and things that we're good at, and that a more rewarding path forward is not to dwell on the things that we're not really good at, which P.S. women are really, really good at doing, focusing on the things that we're not good at.
Yeah.
Why didn't I do this? I said this. I shouldn't have said that. All the things where we're kind of feel like we're not doing really well. But if we lean into our strengths, that's where the power is. And you really can kind of ignore the things that you're not really that great at. Lean into the things that you're really, really good at. And that's what I'm hearing you two say, is that you just love leaning into that power of like, this is where my skills lie. This is what gives me a lot of energy and excitement. And this is what I want to bring into the world. That's awesome. That is powerful.
Yeah. So good. So as women, what are we doing to make life harder? Harder than it needs to be? What are some things, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's relationships, whether it's our health, whatever it is, what are some things that you ladies are seeing or might even be guilty of? I'm definitely guilty of some things that makes life harder.
Struggling to ask for help or even allow help.
Allow, because people offer it, right? And sometimes we're like, no, I got this. I'll carry this entire house over to the next plot.
Last week I strained my back and couldn't really even stand up straight. And it happened on Tuesday, and that night we had a torrential downpour. Like apparently it's 1,000-year storm. We had a very similar storm 5 years ago, and they called it the 100-year storm. So now it's 1,001. The next one is going to be a millennial storm. But anyway, so we had about 5 inches of water come down in the course of 2 or 3 hours. And we got a lot of water in our basement. We live in an old house. We have like a bulkhead where there's a door, came in through the door. It literally was flowing. We had buckets under a window that's in the basement pouring into the bucket. And the next morning, my husband had to go to work, and my mom said, do you want me to come over and help you? And I was like, no, I'll be fine vacuuming up with the heavy. And she was like, stop it, I'm coming over. Why couldn't it just said, yes, please? I mean, I wound up saying, yes, please, thank you. But why didn't I just say that, Mom, would you please come help me? Why can't we just say, please help?
Yeah.
We think we have to do it by ourselves. And I am very guilty of that.
Yeah. Same here. And then I realized like you're actually robbing the other person of the opportunity to feel good to help you. Like it feels good on the other end when you're like, I got to do this for somebody. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, this story we're playing in our heads is that it's a burden for them to drive across town and help me do this or watch the kids or hold this for me while I go do other things. Like, where are we feeding this story from that tells us like this is a burden for somebody when we all want to help? It feels good. It feels so good to help.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think for me, something that is kind of a stuck for me is just really being really clear on where am I getting my own expectations from? My house should look a certain way. It should be clean. I don't know. Should it? Shouldn't it? I don't know. Should I be better at doing certain things? Maybe I should. Maybe I want to be. Maybe I don't. But some of those things, and really kind of going back to where we started, is where did those stories come from? Really being mindful of that and really so that they don't just kind of create this underlying current, but I can really look at that and be curious about where did that come from? Is that really serving me anymore?
Yeah. 100%. It's just wild. All of these beliefs, these stories, these thoughts that we have ingrained in us. And, comparison, we talked a little bit about comparison. Like, well, this person's house is nice and neat. And when I walked in, it felt great. Why can't my house be that way? Well, they have grown kids and they're out the house, and you have a 5 and 6 year old. Like, of course, you can see mine in the background now. Like, she's like, yes, you're calling for me. And I'm just like, well, it is how it is. And everything is so temporary. Like we look at things like this is a permanent, like the toys everywhere, or the when you're starting a business or you're starting a new thing, right? It's chaotic, it's unorganized, and you're like, if this is how this is going to be, I want nothing to do with it. But you're in the initial phases, like things get easier as you fail. I always say, like, you fail forward, you get data back, you pivot, you change, and that's like with everything in life. And for some reason, women are so afraid to just take the leap and see what happens, that it holds us back. It holds us back from like our gift of what if you have a burning desire and it does not go away, there's something that you need to do. You need to act on it, because it's not going to go away until you at least try it out. And for some reason, our story is, no, I will look embarrassed if I fail. If I put this online or I ask for help, people are going to judge me. Oh, she's incapable. But everybody else is wanting to do the same thing. So it's like if one woman steps forward, the rest of them feel like, again, permission. It's like, oh, okay, if she can do that, I can ask too.
Mm-hmm.
The world isn't watching as closely as we think that they are. They're not.
They don't care.
They don't.
Nobody
They don't.
cares.
Last year, I was part of International Mental Health Summit, like a virtual summit like this, and the organizer decided to put a billboard up in Times Square. And she's from Australia. Most of her clients, most of the speakers were from Australia. I was the only person who actually got to see it live. She was in New York, but she was sick.
Oh, wow.
It was only up for one day. But my family and I went to see it. And here we are waiting in Times Square to see this billboard come up, the five of us. And of course, my son is 3 at the time. He's just like, doo-doo-doo. He doesn't know what, oh, Mama's up there. She's only up there for 15 seconds. Which one is he? Like, he doesn't have any idea. So really, there's 4 of us watching. No one else around us had any idea of like what was going on. And I'm like, it was just such a good lesson.
Wow.
Here I was like, I want to make sure that I'm dressed well. I've got makeup on, my hair's done. I look good because my face is going to be on a billboard.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared. Nobody in Times Square except the 4 of us gave any kind of anything.
That's so wild.
It was such a great lesson because here I am thinking, oh my gosh, everyone's going to see this.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because there's like less than 1% of people that people are actually watching, unless your name is like Tom Cruise or, you know, like even a lot of famous people. Jennifer Garner, I was actually watching her. She was like, I've got this one paparazzo who's been following me for the last 25 years. I actually have kind of a good relationship with him. I'll go to him before other people because I trust him. I am not Jennifer Garner. Nobody's coming after me. Nobody really cares.
Yeah, and it's so funny because they started in a place where nobody cared. Like everybody has a nobody cares part of their life.
Yes, exactly.
So fall forward now, fail, do all the messy stuff right now, the chaos, the things that are embarrassing, like get it out of the way, because when more people know you and more people are coming to you for business, for life advice, for all of these things, at least you have like a good story to tell, right? Like I want to have a good story.
It's scarier not to jump. It's scarier to stand on the edge of the diving board for 10 minutes than it is actually falling the 10 meters into the water.
Yeah. That right there.
Pretty scary, let me tell you.
Yeah. Don't think about it. Just do it. Jump out of the plane.
Exactly. Just do it. Jump out of the plane. Follow your dream. Like, just do it. What is the worst that could happen? Because that probably won't happen.
Yeah. So good. Awesome. This has been a fantastic conversation. I love you both so much for bringing all of these gems, these laughs, this good, awesome relationship building. I now officially know Beth very well, and I want to get to know you more. Jenn, I love seeing you weekly, and you are very good at reaching out and building those connections, and I love that about you, and thanks for putting me and Beth in touch as well. I want to make sure that the guests that are listening right now, that they can find you both, follow you on either your socials, website. How can they reach out, and how can you guys help them with wherever they're at in life?
Beth, you want to go first? alphabetically.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Jenn Verser, Jenn, JENNVERSER. That is my website, jennverser.com. You can find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, Jenn Verser. I would love to help you with your money blocks, understanding your money, figuring out how you can get out of debt. I love to talk about money. There is no shame, there is no judgment. Reach out. I'd love to have a chat with you.
And I'm going to piggyback on that with no shame and no judgment over here, but with operations instead of just managing your personal money. I am not on any socials necessarily, but I am on LinkedIn at Beth Fantozzi. My website is smarterworkflow.com. So I'm a Smartsheet consultant. My website and my business name is Smarter Workflow, helping you get smarter in your workflows at work. So I really am looking for people right now who have used Smartsheet. Either they've used it and they've adopted it and they're using it at work, or they wish that they could learn more, but they're kind of frustrated with like, what does learning this look like? It feels overwhelming or frankly boring. I'm having research calls with people right now to learn a little bit more about what is that actually like to go through that. I don't want to make any assumptions. And again, I mean, this is like building trust and relationships is really
Yes.
the theme for the last hour or so. And I would say that I'm really bringing that level of curiosity to these conversations that I'm having with people. Is what is that like? I know what it was like for me to adopt this tool at work and have really a transformation in my career. And so I'm curious to see what is that like for other people and what does that look like? So people can find me on LinkedIn at Beth Fantozzi or on my website at smarterworkflow.com.
Fantastic. Well, sign me up. I am interested, Beth. So I'm going to do a call with you and I'll find you on LinkedIn because I need to get my LinkedIn profile going. That is one of the things on my list. So you're forcing me to be like, okay, make connections on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
But yes, this has been fantastic, and I love that you guys have joined in and flowed with the questions, and it felt good. Everything felt good, and I appreciate you, ladies, and hopefully we'll see you on another call this week.
Love you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
so much.
much.
So much. Thanks for watching. We'll see you all tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, Liz.
You're welcome.